ClemsonLIFE or Peyton Page?
Oh my gosh, they all had so much fun. You know, we haven't done this in 3 years.
Right.
And so a lot of these kids haven't had a chance to do it yet. So it was just really cool. It was awesome. It was awesome. They did it. And, you know, we make the freshmen, the first, second year people stay out. But we had a ton of seniors, a ton of juniors. So it was pretty cool to see them really engaged, fully engaged in what they were doing. It was an awesome day. Always fun. Finally got to come to the stadium. You know, every time we've had it scheduled to come to the stadium, it's been just a disaster from a weather standpoint. So this was awesome to get outside and get the second scrimmage underway. And we got a lot of guys out. We got a bunch of guys out. You know, probably 15 or so, and got a couple of guys with mono that are going to be out for the rest of spring. So that's kind of a bummer, but you know, it's like minor league baseball. You know, so you know, we're kind of having to console our coaches in a couple of spots. You know, because we just you know, you got what you got, and because we got a lot of guys that need work, but you got to put 11 out there. So you know, we got linebackers playing corner. We got, you know, a little bit of everything, just so we can get the practice. You know, it's like minor league baseball. It might be they got to get games. You got to get reps, and so you got to put a team together so you can play games. So, today was a little bit of that, but we were able to. Again, the guys that really need the work are getting it. Unfortunately, Colin is one of them that's out. He's had a really good spring, but he's probably going to be out, so Walker Parks is out. He's sick. But you know, we're confident that with those young guys, Blake, and seeing all those linemen getting, you know, different roles, you know, whether they're playing left tackle or right tackle, you know, Tucker and Trent, and all those guys getting a bunch of work. And same thing on the defensive line side, you know, Peyton and K. Park, E.T. and Denhoff and Zaire. You know, he's got a lot of guys getting a ton of work that really, really need it. And so from that standpoint, I feel really good about it. But we're just thin, you know, we're just thin in some areas. So it is what it is there. Just trying to evaluate the guys that we need to evaluate and not get frustrated with, you know, a linebacker walk on playing corner. You know, so just great to go.
Christian Wilkins' dream, though.
Yeah, Christian Wilkins' dream. Yeah, he'd have been lobbying big time to play with every group at a different position today.
So what did you see coming out of today's scrimmage?
Yeah, well, we've got. I thought defense set the tone today. We had they got their hands on the ball, and we have not really intercepted the ball really all spring. We've had some takeaways on some turnovers, but today they had 2 picks, and that was really good to see. You know. And so, you know, I thought they set the tone early in our first open field. We did a lot of different, kind of put it all together today. Some backed up open field, some middle of field, some red zone. We did some situational stuff, you know, coming off the one. We also did second and goal with a minute to go, and you got to have a touchdown to win the game. So kind of different situation there. Did a couple of really good 2-minute drive situations. So, you know, some open field play, react to what you get, and then some scripted situational stuff too, just to make sure we got the work. But, I saw us pick the ball off. I saw us make some great hustle plays defensively. You know, we've got a group of linebackers that, man, just stand out. I mean, they really, really stand out. I think we all know what we got up front, and those guys are as advertised. And you know, the guys, we've kind of really kept the reps down for some of those guys. They're kind of getting what they need, and we've really pushed the reps on, you know, Swint and Denhoff and Zaire and you know, Peyton and K. Park and E.T. and they've really done a great job. I mean, it's been really good, very productive. You know, what I've seen in the secondary has been really good. I mean, again, I think we only had 3 scholarship corners today. We got Fred back, so this was his second practice, you know, really full go. Toriano has really just gotten better and better and better. And then Nate Wiggins is you know, I mean, he's got a chance to be special. He's having the type of spring that we all hoped he would have. So, and then you know, Lucas got 9 good days. He's got a good foundation. So these last 6, he's just kind of mentally staying sharp and getting well from his surgery, and he'll be 100% ready to go. But we saw enough in 9 days with him to know that we hit a home run with he and Toriano. And then Same thing on the secondary, on the back end, with you know, Venables out. And Xanders has gotten all the working green, no scrimmage work, but man, he looks great. Man, we know what T-Bone's having, even though T-Bone's not going through spring right now, he's having his best semester here at Clemson, and really proud of Tyler. I mean, he got a True Tiger Award today. I mean, he's just gotten really locked in, and you know, he can play a lot of positions for us. Makuba, this has been a great spring for him. You know, he's played corner, he's played nickel, he's played both safeties. I mean, this guy can do a little bit of everything. So his exposure this spring has been really helpful for our team. Jalen Phillips, one of the best leaders on this team, one of the most improved football players on this team. Really proud of him. Same thing with Mickens. So, you know, we're just getting a lot of work with those guys, and then Koval. I just can't say enough good things about Lucas and Toriano and Koval, those three freshmen that have come in here. You know, they're going to help us for sure. And then again, as I said, the linebackers are doing a great job. So defensively today, you know, I think we're just progressing. And then on the flip side, offensively, you know, we got one scholarship running back, and he's been outstanding all spring. It's been fun to see Maffa be the guy. And it really has, and he has responded well. I love his demeanor, his leadership. I love the support. You know, Shipley's been back the last 2 days. We've been able to get him in green, so he looks great. Won't scrimmage or play in the game next week, but he's really progressed well, and excited about that. This kid Dominique Thomas, you know, I mean, he's right place, right time, so he's gotten you know, just circumstances that were good for him, so he's gotten a lot of work, and he's a little different guy, but you can really see his ability. I mean, he was, you know, a good player at that level, and he's shown up, and he's been a good player for us this spring. So I'm really excited that we got a guy like that just walk in off the street to go along with Keith Adams coming in this summer. That's going to help us. And got Brenny Stool back. You know, Brenny is you know, just is so talented, and unfortunate he missed several practices in the first half. So hopefully he's going to have a good finish. Luke Price, on the other hand, is I mean, he's probably as improved as anybody on this team as well. I mean, this guy just, you know, he's 6 years and just loves football, loves everything about it, and has really improved. I mean, he's a very functional guy for us. So he's taking advantage of the opportunity with Davis and Sage being out, and certainly Brenny was out the first half. Getting a lot done up front, you know. Now with Walker out, and Dietrich has gotten a lot of teamwork, but no scrimmage work. But he's progressing. Marcus Tate's a different guy. I mean, he started games for us last year for a reason, but he's what we're seeing, what you want to see, and just a progression there. His confidence, I think he's earned that confidence. He's playing guards, he's playing tackle. He's got good knowledge. I think Brian Tucker has really, you know, taken advantage of his opportunity. We got a big group of redshirt sophomores that we need all of them to make a jump, and we're seeing that in all those guys. John Williams, getting him back, you're seeing that jump in him. You're seeing it in Tucker. You're seeing it in Trent Howard. You know, Putnam he's had about one bad snap a day, you know, and he had one today. But he has really done a good job for a guy that has not snapped, and all of a sudden now it's live bullets. You know, he's not perfect yet, but he's by the time we get to August, I think he's going to be really polished up and ready to go. Quarterbacks are doing DJ has had an excellent spring. I thought he started a little slow first series today, and then he kind of picked it up. And, he was like 12-20 or something like that. But he had a couple balls we should have made. But he manages things well. He really understands. He's got great ownership of what he's doing. It's well documented where he is physically and all that stuff. And again, he's had a very good spring. He's had a couple of great days. And then man, Cade just continues to impress. I mean, he's just a really talented young player. Same thing as those corners, you know, as advertised, and just a sponge. You know, just loves every bit of it. He's about 188 over, you know, right at 190 now, and you know, heading in the right direction there. So I was proud of him, and you know, proud of those receivers too. I mean, it's been a good spring. We still don't have everybody, but what we've been able to get done with Ngata and Bo and Dakari, they're just different guys. Bo was out today, tweaked his hamstring on spring break, running routes. But you know, those guys are kind of taking another level. And Spector is a big shot in the arm for us. Certainly don't have Will Taylor, and got other guys coming in this summer. But you know, proud of those guys. And then Troy Stellato, you know, I've seen him like 2 days in a year. So he's got a long way to go. But you know, he at least got. This is the first time I've seen him play football in forever. You know, he's always hurt. So to be able to see him get out there today was good, and I thought he took advantage of it. He made 3 or 4 nice plays, and you know, so it's just a matter of him growing up and maturing and you know, being an available guy as he moves forward.
With the new two coordinators on both sides of the ball, are you seeing the transition that you want to see from box to sideline to field?
Yeah, well, we're not in the box, you know, but we're you know, all of our communication procedures and all those things have been really good. I like, you know, what I'm seeing in the meeting rooms. You know, there's a great vibe with these guys. I mean, it's a really good group. They're close on both sides. I think they've really done a nice job of kind of establishing, you know, everybody's role and what they got to do, you know, on a daily basis to get ready, and you know, pre-practice and post-practice. But it was fun. It was fun out here today. You know, this is our second. We only get 2 of these, and then we'll do the best we can to split the team up next week. So that'll be a lot of fun. Split the staff too, but they've done a great job. Really pleased with what they've been able to do as a staff, and I hope we tried to set it, because so many new people. We tried to set up so y'all got a chance to, I think, talk to maybe everybody at some point, you know, throughout the spring. So you know, kind of have a voice with a face and all that. So it's a good staff. Good group of guys that are passionate about it, and that's shown up in their players.
Injury-wise, from the start of spring, the list you gave us of guys out, are there any
guys? It was Jay Lucas was one, and then we had Sheridan. Sheridan is out. He had a great. I'm really proud of Sheridan. He had a great spring, and but he's got a little you know, tweak in his growing area that he's got to heal up from. But Walker Parks, he's just sick. I mean, he's nothing wrong with him other than he's got mono, kissing some girls or something. I don't know what's going on. That's how you just get it. That's how you get in Alabama. I mean, they call it the kissing disease. I don't know. Maybe you get it some other way. I don't know. But anyway, we got a couple of them with mono. So, but Walker's, he's had a great spring. But I think that's it. Sheridan, J. Lou, from an injury standpoint. Sergio's back, so we got Sergio back. We got Fred back, so we kind of traded 2 for 2. So we still got about 14, 15 guys out, and they're dudes. I mean, this is like a big list of really good players. So, but you know, they're doing what we need them to do. We need them to get well and healthy and progressing really good.
Who's been playing right tackle?
It's been a musical chairs. It's been Walker Parks, but as of today, it wasn't. So Mitchell Mays ran out there first, and it's good for him, you know. So we're getting some guys that are you know, having to step into some different roles, and that's going to pay dividends for us. But he's one of those redshirt sophomore guys that, you know, that group of, there's about 4 or 5 of those guys that, you know, we need them all to take that next step, and so, you know, he's doing that. And John's play a little right tackle. Marcus Tate plays some right tackle. You know, Tristan Lee's made a ton of improvement this spring. So, but you know, we're Blake Miller is the other one. We you know, he and Colin, same thing I'd say with those like I said with the corners. That whole little group, man, we hit on those guys. Those are two ready dudes, and it's rare that you see guys that physically and mentally can get it at that position. But both those guys, they're not overwhelmed.
Mickey was smiling from ear to ear when he talked about his defense and the way it played today. Do you take a lot from that offensively, or do you say, no, we just got to get a bunch of guys back? I mean, is there anything you really take
I mean,
from
there was good. I mean, there was a you know, couple bad plays early, but they settled in and did some good stuff, and you know, again, trying to evaluate a lot of different things. So, but definitely got to get some guys back. J Mack only played about 10 snaps today, so really kind of gave all that work to some of those younger guys, and because that's where we need to get the improvement.
So what does right guard look like right now?
Well, it's been Tucker, it's been Linthicum, it's been Trent Howard, it's been a little bit of mixture of everybody. John Williams, all those guys have been working in there.
With Cade, was there like a? Oh, go ahead.
I was saying Linthicum, is he repping still mostly
Center guard.
center and guard?
Yeah, he and Trent, they rep, all those centers. Trotter, Trotter's another one that's got a lot of work in there. He can play anywhere.
With Cade, was there a weight that y'all said like by the end of the spring, then by the summer,
I
then
just
the
think
fall?
I don't want to put a limit on him. I think he needs to be touching 200, but I mean we'll see. I'm not going to be pouting if he's 198 or if he's 205, but he looks great. He's really progressing like you needed to. And as you've heard me say, he looks almost identical to Deshaun. Like literally, if you took their January pictures when they got here, just to put them side by side, they're like clones. Shoulders, arms, body type, just where they were weight-wise getting here. And I think Deshaun was 200, come August. And I think Cade will easily be there.
Speaking of
once he gets into the
Deshaun,
offseason.
that contract, largest in history of the NFL. What's that say about Deshaun and his development here?
Well, you don't show up and start your first game, in the NFL if you're not ready. And he's been amazing. Every time he's been on the field, heck, probably had his best year with the least personnel that he probably had available last year. So I'm happy for him. Super excited about his opportunity. I've talked to him a lot over the last couple of weeks, and it just shows a lot of confidence that Mr. Haslam and his family have in Deshaun. I think it was fun to kind of be a part of it with him, and glad to see it. Just glad to see him get back to being involved and ready to move forward. And he's going to do great.
Coach, you had mentioned before that you like guys on the staff like Coach Richardson and Coach Kahn with the high school backgrounds. What did you mean by that? What do they bring? Why do you like that?
Yeah, so heck, I don't even know. It's probably maybe 6 years ago or something like that. Just evaluating our staff at the time, and one of the things that I wanted to do was really bring in that perspective, from the high school level and recruiting, and high school coaches have to deal with a lot of different things, and they have see things from a different lens. And I wanted to hire two great high school coaches, and kind of hard to find anybody better than Kyle Richardson up there at Northwestern, and who all he's coached, the level of player he's coached, the level of success that he had. Same thing with Kyle had a great mentor in Moose Wallace, and that was an established program, and man, he stepped into that with high expectations, and boom, made him better. And then Mickey literally helped build the school. He was literally, from the day the doors opened, he was their first football coach, and built Grayson into one of the best programs in the nation, year in and year out. So just a lot of experience that comes with that. Both been head coaches, both have an understanding of all the things that come with being a head coach. So I wanted that on the staff, and so I brought them in, and they kind of, for a long time, kind of ran the room, ran our support groups. We're very efficient, very organized with our support staff. Coaches are gone recruiting or whatever. So what's happening when they're on the road and all that, and just managing the support staff and making sure that we're maximizing our preparation, and both for the on the field coaches, but also for our opponent study and just getting better and all those things. So they did a great job in those roles, and then when they got the 10th coach, I was able to get Mickey on. It just kind of worked out, because we had 5 on offense and 4 on defense, so we were able to add Mickey onto the defensive side, and we just haven't really had many opportunities. I thought when I hired Kyle it might happen sooner than it did, and he's had a bunch of opportunities to leave, but he stayed. This is what he was hoping would have an opportunity, and we finally had some openings, and it worked out where it was his time.
When they do get a chance to get on the field, how does that rub off on the other? How does that affect the other coaches? Their different perspective that they bring.
Well, I just think like I said, it's really more from a recruiting standpoint, because they've been in those meetings and they've seen all the college coaches come through. They know what's good, they know what's bad, they know what was, they didn't like, what they did like. And so I think their perspective from that standpoint is invaluable, and I think they have a great appreciation, for the opportunity to coach at this level.
Given the sort of culture of the transfer portal and guys they get to the end of spring, maybe they didn't get the reps they wanted and out the door, does it almost help in some ways, as much as you'd like to be fully healthy, to be able to give all these reps to guys who I'm sure we're eager to get them?
I don't know. I have no idea. I have no way to measure that, but I know they're all happy to get to work, and anytime you have a group like those 4 ends that have played a million snaps for us, we're kind of splitting the ones with them anyway and keeping their reps down, and we're going to give a lot of work to those other guys because they really need it. This is the great opportunity, but who knows?
Have you changed your perspective at all on spring, knowing that at the end of spring, if you have a need, you can go out and get a guy, or it's probably more likely you might lose a guy or two?
Well, it's not that I've changed my perspective, but the rules have changed.
Right.
We don't have any choice. There's no high school kids to get in May, and if you get a gap in your roster, where are you going to go? So we just really haven't had that situation to where we had a gap somewhere, or we felt like there was the right fit. So hopefully everybody's back. We'll start my player meetings tomorrow. And probably working through those probably take me till May to get through all of that. We got about 109 guys to meet with. I look forward to that. That's one of my favorite things every year is really spending time, with them. And I don't anticipate anything, but things change any day that ends in Y. So that's all I know. But if you get a gap, then you have to address it. So fortunately, there's a big old pool, and used to it just was graduates. You could only go get a graduate, and so that was a small pool. And there's been a couple times where we didn't think that it was the right move, or right fit for us. But in today's world, the thing is, it just happened last year. So with today's world, you get 5 guys that pack up and leave in May. At least you got somewhere you can go get at least fill some depth.
And you're not going to BS a guy regardless. You're going to be honest with them. But do you sort of frame that in a different way with guys who you think they might not be getting the playing time I'm sure they want, but let me explain the bigger picture to them so that they're less likely to want to pick up and leave? Or do you just kind of have to be honest and see what happens?
Transparent and honest with my guys all the time. I try to just be honest and transparent, and here's where you are, and I've always tried to instill the value of staying the course and long-term vision and all that. So that hasn't changed, but it is what it is. We haven't really had starters pack up and leave here, but that could happen. Guys that we've had leave in the past have been backup guys, and we've been fine in those areas, but
you guys had a lot of success with guys that bloom late too.
We've been a developmental program. And we got guys on this team just like that. Kevin Swint, Greg Williams. Nobody even knows who the heck Greg Williams is, but you just hang on and watch on this guy. This cat right here is going to be a good player. He's just got a lot of guys in front of him right now, and he's a good, but he's very self-aware, and he's been developing. And we've had a lot of those guys over the years, a bunch of them, and I think it gets harder in today's world. For a guy to stay and be patient, a Cornell Powell, and take advantage of your opportunity when it comes. But that's just what we all have to adjust to.
Who's that guy this year? Who's that player who's taken that opportunity so far this year, and you've seen to you that leads the pack? I know it's a hard question to ask, but which guy do you think has really stepped out and really impressed you the most?
Yeah, well, Jalen Phillips is one. He's been around here and he's been a good player. He started some games for us, but he's just really kind of come into his own. He's a 4th-year guy. You know, you just see that in guys. And Mickens is a guy who's going in his 3rd year. You just see the light coming on. All that group of offensive linemen that have just, you know, been talked bad about and had bad articles written about them, and you know, they're awful, and you know, all that stuff. You know, these guys are, you know, they've been red shirts and red shirt freshmen. Now they're going into that red shirt sophomore year, and I think that whole little group is progressing, and I'm excited about it. We only got one senior next year. We only got one, and that's J Mac. You know, that's it. One senior, and you know, got a couple of juniors in Putnam and Walker Parks, but that's if Walker doesn't reclassify. It wouldn't surprise me at all if he reclassifies somewhere. He might stay here for 10 years. So, I mean, that group is making some strides. And again, you know, we got a bunch of guys out. I wish I had Sage out there this spring. He's one in particular. But, you know, Spector's just kind of been on ice around here for a couple of years, and he's starting to thaw out. And you know, we got a good football team. We're a very incomplete football team today, but once this thing all comes together, we're gonna have a good group.
With Kyle's background being offense and moving into this passing game coordinator, what kind of new ideas or concepts?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's been a coordinator. He's called plays. He's coached college ball, but he's just got a good perspective, and he's always been involved, but now he's in a little bit more of a leadership position. That's been fun, you know, just some little tweaks here and there, you know, in the passing game, and he and Brandon have really worked well together. You know, he's had different experiences in different places, and you know, it's just always good to collaborate. And as he's really been able to kind of, you know, move up to the big table, he's embraced that in a very positive way.
Take one more.
You said you talked to Deshaun a bunch lately. Is that just kind of talking him through the decision process that he was going through?
Just trying to, you know, give him some guidance and, you know, what was going on in the last couple of weeks, encouraging him and also just trying to, you know, give him some good counsel. You know, he's in a good place. It's been a long year for him, for sure. And you know, I think he's grown a lot. And he's been really good. But I think he's laser focused and you know, just excited, like I said, to see him, you know, have an opportunity to you know, get back to work, and you know, people get a chance to you know, hear him a little bit.
All right, thank you, Coach.